What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Das, baby. To go. Don't go. If you're going to go, bring me something back. Give me a big old burger with cheese on it and shit. You already know what it is, man. Welcome back to the collective clips. We're going to make it happen right here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content the gun is kicking. And I highly appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. I'm very humbled by it. So you want to talk about we want to talk about Super Usos? We got a Super Uso story for your ass. And it's a recent Super Uso story because the Usos went super duper on the San Jose Police Department over the weekend, right? It got to cracking. Now, San Jose's been heating up. I got a lot of family and friends out there, man. So I get the exclusive footage, the exclusive conversation, and the idealisms behind why it's going on out there. There's lately been going on a lot of North and South issues. And actually, man, I'm working on a story right now. There's been an issue between several of the Crips and the Northerners, man. I'm not trying to glorify the bullshit, but at the same time, San Jose's heating, muy caliente on them streets. It's heating up, okay? So I thought for no other reason, man, I should bring you guys a Super Uso of what happened. The Usos decided for no other reason to lay something down. And the whole San Jose Police Department responded. My homeboy was there. He said there was over 64 cop cars present, all over something that could have been handled. Well, I guess it couldn't be handled. It's hard to handle Usos, right? They handled their business. Now, I've done a lot of time with Usos, hung out with them on the streets, hung out with Tongans, man. I got stories coming up about Tongans versus Usos, and just wait. Those are going to be bangers, right? But so what happened over the weekend was, there's a place called Santana Row in San Jose. A lot of people go club in that area. There's a lot of bars, clubs, the club scene, right? And what had happened was that these Usos, decided to go out clubbing. There was 4 of them. They weren't tripping. In the San Jose area, it's mostly made up of Mexicanos, Chicanos. You got a lot of Northerners, a lot of Southerners. Not as many Southerners as there are Northerners, but everyone knows, man, traditionally, man, Mexicans are San Jose. Now, you got blacks and you got a lot of Samoans. Okay, the SOSs are out there. I actually got invited to an SOS party one time out there right in the dead center of San Jose at a park, and it was cracking. It was cracking. They're good peoples, man. I've never had any issues with Samoans. Been slapped. Hey, I have been choked a little bit by one and slapped by an OG one, right? And that shit hurt. But at the end of the day, I've always been real cool with Samoans. And who wants to be enemies with a Samoan? Get fit, right? It's crazy because when you first meet someone, they're normal. They're like, hey, what's up? Oos, all right, oos, oos, oos. And then you get on their bad side and they're oof, oof, what's up? Oof. Like, nah, hell nah. They scared the shit out of motherfuckers. Even Tyson thought twice about David Tua, right? I'm telling you, they're just a little different. But from what I gathered, man, from what the homie told me, he was there. He said that these 4 Usos minding their own business, and like I said, the Uso community is pretty deep in San Jose, right? They're about the business. No one fucks with them. No one fucks with a Samoan. Let's keep it real, man. Stay away. Stay away. I'm giving you guys knowledge you can't get in college because them fools don't not play. But anyways, I guess these 4 guys were going to a club and they were denied entry for whatever reason. From what I'm hearing, one of them was faded. And usually that's what happens, man. If a dude's faded as hell, and I've been part of that where I've had homeboys and like one of them just super drunk, he's acting stupid, they'll deny you. Security will usually deny you at a club like, hey, bro, they'll deny the whole group because they know you're not going to leave your homeboy hanging. Now, I have seen some homeboys, they'd be like, hey, go home, fool, right? And they'll just bounce. Like, they're trying to get pisteando. They're trying to drink. But for the most part, what they do is they'll deny the whole group like, hey, I'm not going to be able to let you guys in respectfully, bro, because, your homeboy's hella faded and we just don't want them issues. Now, Samoans, there's like a rule. A rule that's written somewhere that no one's going to tell you about. Here's the rule. With Samoans, you don't deny them shit because they'll deny your nose being on your face anymore, right? And they're very intimidating. Whether it's the size, the attitude, I don't know, man. Like I said, every Samoan I've always met being cool than a motherfucker. There's not a Samoan I met that didn't sound like he was part of the El DeBarge family, very soft-spoken, hella cool, falsetto like a motherfucker, right? Until they get mad. Their hands ain't falsetto. Their hands are Hey, boom, 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 boom. They got that super bad. No, for real, man. I swear I met a Uso one time. I was like, hey, what's up, Us? You know, they like that shit. Respects, like brother, right? What's up, Us? He was like,
hey, what's up, Us? How you doing? I was like, what?
that's how he sounded. Vato had his Mickey Mouse on. Hands bigger than they wouldn't even fit on the screen. So, anyways, if you're gonna deny a Uso getting in anywhere, man, you better be prepared for some shenanigans. And that's what happened here. So from what I'm hearing, these guys were trying to go into a club, and one of their homeboys was super faded, and they told him, hey, we're not gonna go, we can't let you guys in. And they got a little rowdy, right? They made the Usos mad, so they started right? They started speaking Samoan, they started getting a little wild. And so they were getting into it with the security, and the security, seeing that these guys were big ass Samoans, decided to call the police. Now, when they called the police, what had happened was, the police started getting into it with the Samoans. And one thing I know about a Samoan, they don't care if you wear a badge. They don't care if you disrespect them or they feel disrespected. They'll get off on anyone. They don't care. There's a lot of people, the cops come, everyone starts dispersing and running. Usos will just stand there. So, right? They'd be like, sir, you got to go home. I am home. Right? And they'd be like, oh, shit, they didn't even say Us. They said, right? And so, and cops, I've seen cops walk around Usos like they're not even there. Like, fuck that. But anyways, these cops decided to get a little touchy-feely with these guys, and these guys got off. Now, allegedly what happened was there was a San Jose Police Department officer knocked out somewhere within this melee. They're blaming the Usos allegedly for it, right? And so what happened, this cop got knocked out so bad. This is how bad it is. He got hit one time, allegedly, by an Uso. One time, and the next thing that was heard over the microphone was officer down, officer down. Now they just meant he was down and out. He just got knocked down and out. But immediately the San Jose Police Department rushed the scene. 64 cop cars, damn near the whole San Jose Police Department for 4 Usos. Now they arrested these guys. I got the footage, right? This is how it looked in San Jose that night for a simple not being allowed entry. This is how much attention the Usos demand. It's crazy. Look at all the cops. San Pedro Street, San Jose, back. Look at all the cop cars. 4 Usos. Uh-oh. The goose. Bottom.
Go back in.
Crazy. They were snatching up Usos left and right.
Who's that guy? That guy wanted to fight too. The guy in the white shirt? Hey, you're the guy. Oh, be safe.
Look, they got big Us right there. Snatched them. So as you can see, man, hey, they got a whole lot of attention, right? And like I said, just being around Usos, having partners that are like that, it's crazy. They do get attention. I don't know if it's the mystique of the Polynesian mystique, the Islanders. They're big. You can see these guys necessarily weren't as big as some of the Usos that I have ran into, like Lion and others. Lion was like 3 times the size of this guy, right? But the fact remains that they demand attention and they're not scared of anything. Like, let me explain something to you, man. When I got invited to the Uso gathering, right, what had happened was I had a friend. It was his daughter's. She had just beat a murder case, a double murder in San Jose. And she's pretty well known out there. I'm not going to speak her name out of respect for him, man. I always have respect for the dude. And he invited me. He invited me. He invited Big Rojo. He invited a few of us like, hey, if you guys want to come down. Now, out of respect for him and for all you haters, Gunner ain't pulling up. I pulled up. And immediately, it was a Uso gathering. They're so family oriented. There was food, bomb food. It was very familiar because having hung around Usos, having been a part of that lifestyle and seeing homeboys that were Usos going to their houses all the time and how they get down, I knew it was just, you were safe. You felt protected. Like, ain't nothing going down at an Uso party that they don't want to go down unless it's you, right? And man, I was taking pictures with dudes. They watched my YouTube channel. It was all good, right? I was getting a lot of love. And you could tell just how close these guys were, but also at the same time, there was two sides to them. These guys, there was a lot of youngsters there too. They were SOS, right? You could tell that they were not fucking around whatsoever. These guys were with the business. People were driving by, would not even look at them. Seen a couple Northerners cruise by. Hell no, we won't go. Now, that doesn't mean people are scared of the Usos. Not far from it, right? But what it does mean is people don't want no issues or problems because these dudes are wild. The wild Samoans, when they choose to do it, hey, you know what I mean? You better acknowledge Roman Reigns. You better acknowledge Fatu, right? Straight up. Because if you don't, you're going to get speared, huh? You know what I'm saying? We're going to get wild on your ass. They get buck wild. Let me tell you about an Uso that I ran into in prison, right? So, very humble, very quiet dude. I remember he worked with the law library. Like there was, so they had a law library, right? This guy was like a legal scholar, jailhouse lawyer. One of them guys that he knew a whole lot of bit about a little bit or a little bit about a lot of it. He was one of those guys that you would get at him like, hey, bro, what's the case? You know, what's the case number on this? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do that? He knew how to do that shit. Always had legal paperwork, always had legal books. And so he was one of those guys that a lot of people would give their case to, and they pay him. That was his hustle. But he helped a couple of dudes get out. He helped a couple of dudes get action at their appeal. That's the truth, right? And so, like I said, he was well respected, loved. I won't say loved. I don't think no one's loved in prison. It's not like, oh, we got so much love for this guy, he could do whatever. No, you're still held accountable. You're still in prison. It is what it is. But he had a lot of respect. And so one day he wanted to go to the law library. He was doing this like case. He'd been working on this case for a minute. And everyone knew like there was a guy that was in there for like a triple murder. And this guy was denied a whole bunch of appeals. So it was his last appeal and he was in the Supreme Court. So he probably had no action, right? But this Uso had found some discrepancies in what one of the lawyers, I think it was the second or third lawyer on his appeal, had fucked up. He had missed something and filed some wrong paperwork. So this Uso was like, man, he had that was a time frame going on here, right? He had to get some documents and his only action was at the law library. So he's telling the cop, like, hey, I need to go to the law library. It's very important, you know. And the cop's like, we don't give a fuck about that. I don't care if that dude gets out or not. Sometimes they're like that, right? Unfortunately, the COs don't care. You know, hey, why do they want you to get out? Your job security, homie. You're a number. You're more money from the government. Keep your ass there, stupid, right?
You ain't going nowheres, homie. On grip.
They weren't playing. So the Uso, very soft-spoken, he's like, hey, can I talk to you? Can I talk to the sergeant? Sergeant goes to his door. He's explaining to him. Sergeant's like, look, I'm about to leave. It's my shift's over, but I'm going to tell him to pull you out on the next shift. I got you, right? And, you know, they keep it respect. Like, they talk all that high power shit, but when they're face-to-face with Big Uso, like, nah, they don't need that, right? And so he's like, okay, bet. Cool. I could wait. So next shift comes on. He's not like one of those fucking dudes that a cell soldier on it immediately. I used to hate that in prison. I see the sergeants or the cops somebody when they got you next shift. As soon as the shift started, these cops didn't even get a chance to do a head count, nothing. And I understand they're doing their fucking job and dudes are already on them. Hey, I got to get a shower. The sergeant told me. And then you get on their nerves and then they fuck it off for everyone. Those that have been in prison know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the truth, right? So this dude's respectful. He waits about an hour or two. And he's like, hey, Oos. And the cop's like, yeah. He's like, hey, the sergeant told me last shift. I'm not trying to, I know you guys is a whole different shift, whole different rhythm. And I ain't fucking your shit up. But he said I would have action at the law library I'm working on. And the guy was like, I don't care what you're working on, man. You're not getting out of your cell. And he said, man, you don't have to disrespect. He was like, he said something under his breath. And the Uso said, hey, what'd you say? And he says, you heard me. He says, man, I'm not intimidated by you. The cop said, I'm not intimidated by you because of how big you are. He said, of course you're not intimidated by me because there's a door. The cop said, oh, we can crack that motherfucker right now. Mistake. He cracked it. He cracked the door open. Get over here. Oof, oof. Right? Man, wow. Every bit of Wild Samoan came out of him. He drugged that dude in the cell. That dude was screaming like a pig being roasted in Maui, right? It was all bad. And guess what? I never seen so many COs run. Somehow he was able to hit the pin or whatever, and they came running. Man, and these guys did not rush. They didn't run in on someone. They were all at the door like, calm down. Calm down, Oofy. Calm down, Oofy. Right? His name wasn't even Oofy, but that's calm down, Oofy. Let his neck go. Is your neck broke, brother? Let his neck go. We'll give you an extra tray. Do you like bananas? I said, do you like bananas? Right? They were trying to play bargain with this dude. As he's choking out this cop, eventually they went in, CERT team snatched him up, grabbed him by his hair. Sergeant ends up going to the hole because they put him in the hole, right? He fucked the cop up bad. He catches a new case on that, an assault, all that, right? First, they were trying to push attempted murder. They couldn't prove that. He got the assault case. And the cop testified in his trial and all that. He was his own lawyer and got found guilty. So, after that, people are like, damn, maybe he wasn't such a good lawyer. He'd help everyone else, but not himself. It's usually how it goes. But that sergeant, I guess, went and seen him in the oil and got at him, was like, man, my bad, bro. I feel like I put you in that situation. I should have told the cops what I told you or promised you, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter in them situations. So anyways, man, it went down in San Jose over the weekend. 4 Usos trying to get into a club, not bothering no one. They were denied entry. Somehow, mysteriously, a cop gets oofa'd, right? And I'm going to show you guys the footage one more time. This is how it ended up. This is how many cops came. The whole San Jose Police Department. No shooting, no stabbing. Just a simple bar fight. I'm telling you, Samoans ain't the ones to be played with. And meanwhile, while this is going down, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of what was going down. I got actual footage I can't show you because of content purposes, right? But that was also being snatched up right there. You see all the innocent bystanders are like, damn, what's going on? People recording this shit, all being nosy, rubbernecking. That's how my boy was over there doing the same thing, man. Respects to my boy. Always on the scene. Look. Yeah, just tell him he's wearing a white shirt, man. Look at the Uso. You don't even look concerned. His mind is already like, am I going to get a sack lunch as soon as I get to the county? Oof, oof. So, oos. And I get a double up. That's it. You notice how these guys allegedly just knocked the cop out, and they're being very, very explosive, right? They're being very calm and cool and collect because you don't fuck with an Uso. So look, meanwhile, while this was going on, my homeboy told me that several other fights broke out. I don't know what it was about the cops and this issue, but people were just fighting everywhere, all up and down. So it was really cracking that night. He said it was a wild weekend. Typical San Jose. It's what it is, man. Like I said, the Samoan community, they're respected around the world. I don't have a bad thing to say about them. But in San Jose, man, because they have a big community, they be rocking heads out there, man. They don't fuck with the Samoans, the Usos, period. But again, man, so that's my Super Us for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. With that, I'll be bringing you guys a whole bunch of new content. I'm working on some big things going on, man. You guys are going to get a lot of super Norteño. I'm working on that interview, making everything happen, that I've promised, and I'm trying to keep the channel pushing, man. So thank you for the respect. You already know what it is. To all my Usos out there that are watching this, y'all motherfuckers are crazy, bro. I fuck with Samoans. You know what? I'm going to order me some Samoan food right now. Straight up. Spam, here I come. You already know what it is. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all the people. If you're not tapped in with Gunners Collective TV, make sure you guys go tap in. I'm dropping bangers over there every day. I appreciate all the support I'm getting from you guys. And we're just going to keep it cracking like that. The gun. Bang, bang.